August 2013. I left on a bike trip from Vancouver, Canada, and I rode all the way to Anza-Borrego State Park, which was the farthest south I made it, and then back up to Joshua Tree, and then flew home from Palm Springs. And I biked with one of my best friends from Vancouver to San Francisco, and then she flew home, and then I biked the rest of the way. And yeah, it was really, really fun, and I would totally do it again. The thing about traveling on your bike is everyone is sort of mystified. Like, what are you doing? Why do you have all this stuff on your bike? And people think it's really amazing. And after you do it, you kind of feel like it's not amazing and it's just sort of regular. And you meet all these other people biking, and you're just like, yeah, everybody bikes across the country. It's totally this normal thing, but it's fun. It's fun to talk about it. I was kind of in this really bad relationship in like 2011 and 2012. And I went to counseling, and the counselor was like, if you could do any 3 things like in the entire world, what would you do? And I actually don't remember what the other 2 things were, but the one thing was, I said I wanted to ride my bike from Vancouver to Texas. And I didn't make it all the way to Texas, because at the point I got down to Anza-Borrego, I felt like I was pretty done. And I didn't really want to do it anymore, because I'd been gone for 2 months. But yeah, it was just one of those things that was on my bucket list, I guess. That horrible term. But yeah, my counselor was like, yeah, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to ride my bike some crazy long distance. And my cousin moved from Michigan to Los Angeles, and I told her I was going to come visit her, and then I told her, you know what, I'm going to come visit you on my bicycle. So I did. Well, I was a bus driver, and I drove regular full-size conventional buses and 60-footers, and it's a really hard, stressful job, and after a while it just really got to me. And I would just come home, and I was renting this apartment, and every day get home from work and make dinner and watch some crappy TV and be like, wow, this is it. This is my life forever. I'm just going to work at this job for 40 years, live in this rental apartment, and die. And I was just like so depressed about how boring and awful that sounded. And there was all these bus drivers, at least 20 or 30 of them, living in motorhomes and vans under the bridge right by the bus depot. I was like, these guys are so smart. They are making so much money, and they're not spending any money on rent. And I thought, yeah, I want to live in a van. And I remember thinking, like, yeah, that's it. And I, for some really stupid reason, called my parents to tell them that, which I have no idea why I thought that was a good idea. And they were both like, that's a terrible idea. That sounds so awful. Oh, you're going to hate that. And I was like, all right, I guess I won't do that. And I never stopped thinking about it. And when I was on the bike trip, before I'd even gotten home, I was already shopping for vans on Craigslist back home so that I could go look at them as soon as I got home. So as soon as I got home from bike tour, I bought my other van, my first van, and built it out, and then basically turned around and came immediately back to the desert again. So the main impetus for that is not having to spend money on rent and to have my entire house with me wherever I go.